Flipping heck.
Sorry.
Oh.
Hello. We're back. And today we're going to talk about 10 things. No, we're not. We're going to talk about 5 things that the new series does that are good.
Yeah.
And 5 things that they do that are bad. That is 10 things,
Yeah.
but half and half. So this has already come about because of all the anniversary stuff. We're still going on about the anniversary, even though this is April now, and
it's roundabout.
Yeah, it's anniversary's finished. But we're going to talk about this, and we're just going to go through the list and have a discussion about certain things that we think are bad. Now, Billy here forgot his list of things, but I've got mine because this is my house, and this isn't someone else's house. We didn't just break into someone else's home. So let's start with the good things. Let's make this a positive video. So first things first, top of the list, developed companions, their characters.
Yep.
Definitely a positive, because if we go back to some of the old stuff, characters like Dodo and Katerina and even Victoria and Zoe, they're not really they haven't really got that much going on. Here we actually have characters who have families and history, and they actually have desires and all these kind of things that make a character, which is excellent. It's very good that we've got that. We didn't really get that until Ace.
Yeah.
So it was sort of starting to happen with the classic series, and it would have slowly filtered through, I'm sure. But here, it really did come into its own with Rose. Father's Day is a brilliant exploration of her character and her history.
Yes, certain stories do lend themselves better to the companions than others, and I think the new series is one. It seems to really want to work as a longer narrative rather than split up episodes.
Yeah.
The companions do work better. I definitely remember putting down families as being one of the things that I do like seeing in the new series. Seeing, you don't just see their adventures with the Doctor, and if you do just see their adventures with the Doctor, you get to see what effect that has on their lives. I mean, that was especially prevalent in Series 8 with
Clara.
Clara. That was a great subplot. I thought that worked really well.
Yeah, I'm glad they sort of brought that back, because Amy, I didn't really get what happened with Amy and her family, because her parents weren't there.
Her parents
then
died, and they suddenly reappeared when they rebooted the universe.
Yeah,
but you never see them again.
Yeah, I really didn't understand that myself. It seemed pointless, really, to do that. Story arcs. Now, I have seen a lot of people, and I have said it in the past, I've said, I'm fed up with story arcs, we should just go back to being individual stories. But television doesn't work that way anymore. Television does not work like that. Even story arcs exist in series, even if it's not like a massive thing like Bad Wolf. There'll be a character arc.
Yeah.
There will always be something in series these days that will continue out throughout the series.
Yeah, it's got to hold the audience's attention, because television viewers nowadays are very fickle. They're more likely to flick in and out of programmes.
Yes.
So you've got to hold the retention of the audience is what television publishers are so interested in. Because if you don't have that retention of audience, there's even less chance of them watching the show after Doctor Who.
Bad Wolf. That was a brilliant arc.
Yeah.
That was done incredibly well. And I remember being on the edge of my seat when he turns around to the Emperor Dalek and says, "Oh, Bad Wolf, what's that about?" Then the Emperor Dalek says, "Oh, nothing to do with me."
Yeah.
I was like, what? Who is this? What's happening? And then it was Rose, and I was like, "Oh, that's a bit shit." I was hoping it would be like the Master or Davros. Not why Davros would put Bad Wolf.
Weird.
Hello, Doctor. I have put Bad Wolf.
How would he have leant forward and painted everything in graffiti?
Graffiti. You young hoodlums, come here.
They probably just pushed him over because he's in a wheelchair in a council estate.
On breeze blocks.
Nicked his wheels. Put him up all...
You little bastards. What was Series 4?
That was Rose coming back, wasn't it, really? And the stars are going out.
The stars are going out and the bees are disappearing.
I didn't get the bees disappearing.
Something to do with like some bees on Earth are from a different planet or something, and that there's a line of bees, something.
I don't remember that at all.
I'm sure I'm not making this up.
I'm sure you are. I don't remember that. That sounds like a joke at your expense. Like, the bees are going out. The bees are going out and the stars are disappearing.
There are certain bees that weren't from Earth. They're aliens that just look like bees.
No, you're lying.
I'm not.
No.
I'm not.
No way.
I'm going to show it to you afterwards. And he says, oh, there's a thing. There's a trail. Is the trail, and the bees are flying off because of some. It is.
No.
I'm not making this up.
No way.
This is too ludicrous for me to make up. Right. Number 3. The TARDIS dimensions. Now, by that I mean we open the police box doors, and you can see that there is a console room and there is a wall right at the back. You didn't get that in the classic series. It was just black. You only really see it in the pilot episode when
she pushes the doors
Barbara
open,
pushes the doors open, and then you never really see it. You only ever see it in the reverse. Really, with the Hartnell era and a few Pertwee and Tom Baker stories, the main doors will open and you'll see what's outside. It doesn't quite really make an awful
Colony in
sense.
Space is probably the one that looks the most awkward.
Yeah.
Because the doors are huge and they're not to scale with the TARDIS doors at all, so that does look a bit weird.
Yeah, so this is excellent. I really love this.
I think it worked especially good in Series 8.
Yeah.
You know the bits where he'd land in the store cupboard.
Yeah.
And then they just go straight from the store cupboard and they just walk down into the console room, and it looked great. You got a sense of, I mean, you know the way they're doing it with a false wall, and it's just leading into the set of the TARDIS. But it's still it works. It works brilliantly.
So the shot that I really like is in Series 7, Bells of St. John, and you follow Clara. You go through the doors and you go all the way around the circumference of the console, back out the doors, and you're on the plane. It is a brilliant shot.
It's excellent.
It is so good. You couldn't do that in the old days because it was just back wall and a couple of side walls, and But you really do get a sense of scale. Special effects, kind of on the same lines as the last one, but generally speaking, special effects for the most part are obviously better than some of the classic stuff. That's not always the case because I do like a lot of model shots.
The visual effects look fantastic.
I like models. Maybe it's an age thing, but I always think models look more realistic than CGI because they're real things. And it's the same with like puppets and things. I would much prefer the puppet version of Yoda in Empire Strikes Back to the CGI version of Yoda in Revenge of the Sith, because one looks better than the other.
No, not a Star Wars person. Is it?
God damn me! What's wrong with you, Billy?
No, never liked it.
Really?
Sorry.
But that's not to say that the CGI that we have had hasn't been good. Some of it has been good.
Great.
Some stuff is a bit clunky.
Some stuff ages very badly.
Yeah.
I mean, I even remember seeing in Smith and Jones when the hospital's been blown up. That looks ropey then. Yeah. Like the levelled hospital, not being there anymore. That I remember watching that and thinking, oh, that doesn't look very good. That doesn't look great.
It's funny because I think I said this to you last time. I watched kids react to Doctor Who. Yeah. So there's a lot of American kids who've probably most of them have never seen Doctor Who, but have heard of it. And a lot of their excuses for not watching it is, the special effects are bad. And that's what I thought. The special effects are bad? Yeah. Really? Now? Jesus Christ, what do you want?
Yeah, I know.
Do you want the explosion to come out of the television and singe your eyebrows off?
Clearly.
God, blimey. Back in my day, it was like a puff and a few sparks, and that was exciting.
There we are.
Well, not in like Remembrance of the Daleks terms, when they just feel like, fuck it, just blow everything up.
Great.
Blow up London.
I love that. Just to break it up, because I know what's coming up next, I remembered one of them. Okay. One of my ones. Just so we're not just talking about the visual stuff. Yeah. The fact that it's more popular in the US than it has ever been ever. Yeah. It's just huge over there. Well, not huge over there now, but by comparison, it's very big.
Yeah, they have people know what it is.
They have US premieres. Yeah. They do the world tour.
Yeah, world tour. Yeah. World tour for Doctor Who.
Yeah, and people turned up. It wasn't just
I was really expecting it to be like one Puerto Rican man who was like, oh no, I've come for the wrong thing.
Oh no, it was a Puerto Rican bloke with a Tom Baker t-shirt on that's too small for him. Hey, I love a Doctor Who. Well, let's talk about the crap stuff then, because I mean we've discussed it a lot in these videos. Yeah. Matt's sort of known for it.
So romance. Now I don't mean romance between everyday characters. So like Clara and Danny. Yeah. That's fine. That's okay. You know. What I mean is romance between the Doctor and his companions. Now David Tennant came out the other day and said, "Oh yeah, the Doctor and Rose were definitely his girlfriend." Fuck you, Tennant! It works with Eccleston and Rose because it really was like this was the girl that sort of brought him back to being the Doctor, sort of. But the relationship between those two was never really boyfriend and girlfriend.
No, there was never any question that it was going to be like that. Because Eccleston didn't want it to be like that.
No.
But that's why he left.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that I've heard that he left, is because he said that they wanted to make that bond more prominent, and he was like, no, I'm 40 whatever.
You have to do the accent.
She's 19 or whatever. Yeah. That's gonna look weird.
Yeah.
You know, dirty old man.
In a leather jacket.
Leather jacket. Yeah. Come in my box.
That was asking to be done though.
Whoops.
Whoops-a-daisy.
Oh dear.
Go.
Red-faced. Anyway.
It is box.
Yeah. Well, he is an alien.
He is an alien. You never know what he's got.
You know, he's travelled around a bit. He's probably got very different tastes to you and I.
Probably.
You know, we don't know what's going on down beneath those trousers.
No, I don't want to think about it anymore. Stop. Let's stop talking about romance. We've got to move on.
We've got to move on. All right, romance bad. Don't marry the Doctor off. River Song.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's another one, but I think that's a story for another day. I think we could do a whole video on River Song being irritating character. The Doctor's language. The Doctor's language. Now, what I mean by this...
Big, sexy woman.
Yes. The Doctor's lexicon in the new series is terrible. The Doctor should never say sexy.
Yeah.
He should never call the TARDIS sexy. Or when Matt Smith said that, you sexy thing, I thought, what the fuck have you just said?
Hartnell said, when I first saw you, I thought you're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't hear Hartnell saying that. Oh, very beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, it just
that's
doesn't.
It. Yeah. You wouldn't say that.
And he wouldn't have said that. He wouldn't have said, the TARDIS is beautiful.
No.
Yeah.
Good ship. Good ship.
Yeah, good ship. Yeah, good ship. This will do the job.
Yeah. That's all. That's the only reason he took it.
Yeah.
He didn't take it because he thought he was pretty.
Yeah.
It was it
wasn't like he was stealing
Clara sort of waving towards it, but it was just there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole lexicon thing. That was one of the things I wrote down. I just think the Doctor has been written very poorly. You know, no matter who's playing it, they always seem to get something in there
that doesn't ring true.
It's just it doesn't sit right with him. Whoever's playing it at the time, or what's come before. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it, I was listening to it while I was at work. I was listening to Time Heist. This was really interesting. I watched Time Heist without watching it. I just listened to it. And there was some stuff there where Capaldi said something about, isn't there like a grenade or something in the lift, and it like blows the floor open, but it's like an explosion, so it just wipes the floor out without causing anything. And the way he talks about it, there was something there, and it was like... Yeah, that just sounds a bit too much like a modern man sort of going, oh, wow, that's amazing. And it's like, yeah, that's not how the Doctor sort of speaks, you know? Not that was what was said. But it was that kind of thing. And it just doesn't really work, especially with an older man like Capaldi. You know, I mean, I miss the Doctor saying, old chap. You know, I say, nice chap, he's a nice chap. You know, but now it's like, oh, he's my mate. Oh, how's my mate? Oh, yeah. And it's like, no, the Doctor doesn't really say mate. That'll age it. That will be the main thing that ages the show, I think, is how pally the Doctor can be.
Yeah, and you never got that. No. I think with Capaldi, obviously, there's that one moment, again, in Time Heist, when they're all having Chinese in the TARDIS, and it's like, and he's making jokes, and it's like, this isn't the Doctor?
No, it's weird.
This?
It is weird.
Annoying companions, overconfident, bolshy companions, especially companions who now all have a subtitled name. So, what I mean by that is Clara, the impossible girl, Amy Pond, the girl who waited, Rory, the
last
centurion, who else have we had? Rose,
the teeth.
the teeth. But what I mean by the bolshy companions, it's like the companions who are just all a bit too cocky. So one instance, and I don't like Amy. I hate Amy Pond. Now I know a lot of people like Amy Pond. You're laughing.
I don't know.
No, you can see I'm getting.
It's the hatred, yeah.
It's the hatred.
Hatred's coming through. It's real.
I hate Amy Pond, and people think that Clara is worse than Amy Pond. Clara's lovely. I love Clara. Don't be mean to her. But Amy Pond, she's a fucking bitch. She's horrible. And she's in one episode, Vincent and the Doctor, superb episode, very well written. You've got this bit at the moment where they're in whatever time this is, 1800s, maybe earlier than that, late 1800s, early 1900s, perhaps, I can't remember. And she talks to these men in this cafe, like, oh yeah, I'm a woman, and I'm amazing, and da-da-da. back in that time, they would have punched her in the face, and I would have happily have seen it. I would have, if I was Director General, I would have said, you know what, have them punch her in the face.
Yeah. Or just got a bit rowdy and just, you can't talk like that.
Yeah, Amy, the doctor should have said, Amy, you can't speak like that. There is no women's lib. You're going to get beaten up.
The main problem is that it weakens the Doctor.
Yeah.
Is the trouble, is that he just seems more diminutive because he can't come back. If Amy says something very witty and putting down to him, Matt Smith can't come back and say, yes, well, your mother. He can't, he can't come back to that.
Yeah, stuff like Amy being, and even River Song, like, oh yeah, thinking she rules the friggin' roost. Yeah. Piss off.
Yeah.
This is Doctor Who. It's the Doctor.
Yeah, this is TARDIS.
This is TARDIS. If you don't like it, Mrs.
Come in someone else's box. That's what are we on now? Number 4 or number 5?
Number 4. Messing with the golden oldies, monsters, and you could even say some stories as well.
Yeah.
But monsters. So what I mean by that is not just in terms of design, but also characterization.
Yeah. The language that some monsters use nowadays. I mean, I didn't like Delete when it first started, and I didn't like the design of the side. Well, actually, no, I did see the design of the Cybermen for the first time I saw it on a school computer.
Oh, where?
And it loaded up really, really slowly, and I just saw the head, and I was like, oh, the head looks really cool, and it kind of went down. We're going for an Art Deco design. I went, yeah. If you're going for an Art Deco design, that looks great. I really like it. Then you saw them in action, and they started doing the stomping, and
they felt clunky.
They felt clunky. Whereas I prefer my. And then what they do is exactly the same thing. They even go back on things that aren't that golden oldie and ruin them. The whole Nightmare in Silver zipping around at supersonic speed, just because the other ones were marching and stomping really slowly, and it just sort of feels like you can't rectify a problem by making it so unlike the original problem that it just doesn't resemble it anymore, because then it becomes even more accentuated that you've made that problem in the first place.
Yeah, I liked in Death in Heaven that the Cybermen, some of them just sort of walked.
Yeah.
They didn't have a march, they just walked like they used to.
Yeah.
Because they did sort of try and bring in a power walk, didn't they, in Nightmare in Silver? They sort of walked
they went
like that. And it's just like, what the hell? It's like they've got cucumbers stuck up their arses or something. They've shit themselves. I was like, great, this was going down my legs.
Yeah. Shaking out their boots.
So, stuff like that. Silurians. The Silurians got to be mentioned.
Yeah.
The worst redesign ever. It's to the point where it could be a completely different alien.
Or we said the Paradigm Daleks, possibly the biggest slip up. I think they're probably the biggest slip up in design they've ever had. Yeah,
especially more so with the Daleks, because the Daleks are one of the pillars of Doctor Who.
And I think pop culture in general, and design wise, I think people will look back on the 60s, and especially the Daleks, and go, they was the pillar of like British design. Yeah. Pop culture.
Yeah. But okay, final one. The sonic screwdriver. The sonic screwdriver, it's been a staple of Doctor Who. Well, it was a staple of Doctor Who throughout the 70s, but it was a tool.
Yeah.
And it was there for opening doors, and it was there for unscrewing things, and maybe blowing up a panel of this or that. But it was never what it is today, the magic wand. To the point where John Hurt's Doctor even says, why are you holding them out like water
Which
pistols?
Is so hypocritical of Moffat, because later in the episode
he's
doing that, and then in Series 8 episodes they say it's overused. Yeah. And Capaldi zaps the reins out of the cabbie's hand. It was
bollocks.
Really annoying.
The one that really annoys me is in the Silurian 2-parter in Series 5, when they're going to shoot at the Doctor, and he zaps the guns, and he makes the guns blow up. Yeah. It's like, well, what's he doing? What?
It is ridiculous. It's all done with sound waves. Pat Drayton said that, all done with sound waves. Yeah. How do you make it spark out of a bloke's hand if it's all done with flipping sound waves? It's silly. It's overblown and overdone, and you keep the sonic. We're not saying get rid of the sonic by any means. We're just saying tone it down. Don't use it as much.
Yeah. I think in Series 1 it wasn't too bad, but certainly by Stephen Moffat's time...
Repelling psychic attacks in the Rings of Akaten was the nadir. Stop it now.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The thing that really annoyed me with Matt Smith was to the fact that obviously the production team had known that the sonic screwdriver was getting so ridiculous, was when he turned around and I've got an app for that. It's not a fucking iPhone! It's a sonic screwdriver! It's Klingon technology! Oh, you bastards!
Right, that'll do it for us today, I think.
Yeah,
So
this has been quite a fun one.
I love it was great, yeah. But one of my favourites, I think, now.
Hey, very good.
Excellent. So, yeah, there we go.
So there we are, that was 5 things that we thought Doctor Who has done well, 5 things that Doctor Who hasn't done so well. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't take things too seriously.
No.
Please don't take things too seriously.
We didn't.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah.
We
And I really don't mean punch all women in the face. Fucking hell,
Or
no.
come in boxes. It's just not worth
Yeah,
it.
don't come in a box.
Yeah.
You know, especially a police box.
Yeah, you'll get arrested.
You will get arrested.
Don't walk around Earl's Court. With your trousers round your ankles. That just looks very... And don't tell them that we sent you to do that. Because we'll get bollocksed. Anyway. Thank you very much for watching.
Cheerio, we'll see you next time for another Q&A. Thanks for watching, guys.
Oh, God,
From that stupid sod.
Because you've got a 3D TV.
Yeah. I'd never use it.
No.
You know, I've watched 2 films, I think, in 3D.
What do they look like?
Man of Steel. It gave me a headache. So I am worried about buying this and going, oh... Yeah.